Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Moorhan, and we have with us Nevada Putnam. This is episode 246. We're getting into head-to-head pop culture pick'em, top 5 things that are an acquired taste. And then we'll get into the final iteration of the MLB Futures for the 2024 season, AL and NL West. Hindsight is 2020. We probably should have done this one sooner since MLB season did kick off today.
Lame.
Between the Dodgers and the Padres.
Not my opening day.
How you doing this evening, Nick?
I'm good. The opening day is a farce. Don't believe it. It's the false opening day. Baseball is American and American only, and opening day is on American soil.
Classic white man trying to keep everyone down.
Who won, actually? I don't even know who won.
I don't know. My friend was complaining to me about Cronenworth letting the ball through his glove.
Yeah, who do you think won?
Shohei hitting 115 miles per hour. Yeah, probably the Dodgers. Yeah, exactly.
The Dodgers did win. It just feels weird that opening day is happening and like there's still spring training games going on.
It is odd. I think it's awesome as well that they're playing in Korea. So but it is odd, right? Because it's not how it's ever gone before. But it's no skin off my back. Like the last week of spring training, usually it's like they're not really. I don't know. Are they playing their starters more in the last week, or are they not? Typically they're not playing the starters, right?
No, they are. They are playing them. Yeah, it's basically because you trim it as you go. You trim the roster as you go. So by the time you get to the end of spring training, you have basically the guys that you want that are there.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I think it's awesome. I love that they're playing this series in Korea. And apparently each player is making 70 to 80K just for playing over in Korea.
That's not bad.
I was like, I'd go play in Korea.
I just wanted to update everybody on Cactus League standings. The Dodgers are leading. The Rockies and the Cubs are both a game back. So it's looking pretty good for the Rockies.
Yeah, nobody cares. Is there a trophy?
Go ahead, put the banner up.
No, we can't. The Dodgers are still winning. But second place spring training. Now that's pretty good.
But they're on the other side of the world. They won't know if we take the banner. So
that's true.
Just put it up right now.
Unreal. You guys are out of control with this banner. Let's go ahead and get into head-to-head, boys. Another bloodbath. Actually, I don't think it was that bad, was it? No, we had 2 hits total. I went with a championship weekend moneyline parlay. VCU ended up losing. I took them against the spread. That's just an outright loss. Is brutal. And then I took Carlos Alcaraz to win in over 21.5 games. He won 20. He did win 120. And then I submitted a top 10 finish for Nate Lashley, and that's not who I was trying to bet at all. So that typo cost me a win. So I'm 3-30 on the year, and I honestly couldn't care less. When you're throwing parlays at the wall, like I don't know if I'd really take this that seriously, but it's all right. I'll end up winning at the end of the year because you guys suck
somehow.
And Nick and Nevada both took a player to win the Players Championship. We'll get into Nevada's after this, but Nick lost Xander Schauffele not to be confused with souffle. He lost his UCL parlay, which has become a custom, and he actually hit a soccer parlay. It took how many teams tied no bet?
2.
So
Well,
5.
I think Eric took the teams that tied out. So it was originally a 7-team parlay, but the teams that tied got taken out.
Oh, all right. Okay. So Nick hit a plus 404 bet. Not bad. He's 4 wins, only minus 6.72 units. Not too bad. Then we'll get into Nevada. Go ahead. Take it away, buddy.
I started the week off with what should have been a fairly easy bet. Winnipeg Jets puck line minus 1.5 hit, easy one. And then the Kings against the Jermaine's Blackhawks over 5.5. It was 5-0 entering the third period. It ended 5-0.
Gotta love that.
And then the Players' Championship, like Jermaine alluded to, me and Nick both took a player to win outright. I took Wyndham Clark, and he lipped out a birdie, which would have sent it to a playoff.
Yep.
That I don't know how that putt didn't go in, man.
Oh, it was very close to going in. I mean, like, it went 3/4 of the way in and then came out.
Wait, I barely saw any ball when it went in, and somehow it came back out. It was just determined for Nevada to not have hit that bet.
Yeah, it looked like a beer pong where the ladies blow the ball out.
Yeah,
you see it rimming around, and like it's going in, and then whoop.
Oh, that's a great comp. That's exactly what it looked like.
That is a fire comp. But did you have any drama in this Food City 500 in Bristol?
Yes, Kyle Larson was up in first place for a while, and then he kind of got back in the pack, and then he was in 5th, and then contending again for the top spot, and just ran out of laps. So yeah, I was 3 for 3 on close calls this past week.
You're gonna hit one.
I will hit one eventually.
Keep trying.
The fact that if I hit one bet, I might be up on units on you, Nevada, is just absolutely comical. We've been making fun of Nick's cold streak. I'm 3-30. Like, it's not bad. It's not good right now. Eric hit NBA parlay.
He's stealing all my NBA juju.
Plus 555, so he's up almost 15 units on the year. 1024, and he's plus 14.97 units. He lost 2 other NBA parlays.
It's going to be hard to catch him with that unit size.
Oh yeah.
No, dude. Just wait till the NBA season's over.
That's true. That is true.
We've seen this from Eric before, bro. Like, Eric was very good at NBA, and then when he didn't have the NBA anymore, he sucked and missed everything. And he'll be all right. Be all right. I was pretty much steadily, consistently shitty, and I still beat all you guys. Like, it's all you have to do. Just plug away. One, maybe 2 weeks, small units. I can't even do that right now, though. That's a disaster. Disaster. Let's get into Pop Culture Pick'em. Today's topic: top 5 things that are an acquired taste. The order is Nick, Nevada, myself. Nick, take it away.
I'm gonna go spicy foods number 1.
Spicy food.
Find me a kid that likes spicy foods.
My entire hometown.
No. Find me a white kid that likes spicy food.
All right, fair enough. White kids, spicy foods. Got it. That's a great choice, because I don't think you really mess with spicy till this day.
I'm starting to like more and more spicy stuff.
Got it.
All right. For my next pick, I was going to go with just a generic beer, but I feel like that's cop out, so I'll specify it. I'll say IPAs.
Nope. Still can't drink them.
Well, just haven't acquired the taste yet.
I don't feel like acquiring pine trees.
IPAs are delicious. You probably think cilantro tastes bad too.
No, I love cilantro.
I'm going to go ahead and take opera music.
Shout out Luciano Pavarotti.
Can you name a second?
There's that dude that took over for Luciano Pavarotti.
Nailed it, dude. Nailed it. And then
fuck, what the fuck is his name?
And then next I'm gonna take lengua and tripe.
Haven't eaten it enough to try to have it as an acquired taste.
Yeah, so you kind of prove the point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because for me, growing up around it, even sometimes I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good, dude.
Andrea Bocelli. Bocelli is who I was thinking.
Yeah. Shout out Google for the assist.
Shout out Google. Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't name any opera singers, so you're better off than me.
I love me some Pavarotti.
Dude, bro, when's the last time you put on some Pavarotti?
A week ago, because Katie said the exact same thing. She said, "You don't love Pavarotti," and I pulled it up on my phone and put it on and sang it for her.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yampa, 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 Nicoli for Nikolai.
All right.
Gotta go.
Yep. For my second pick, probably doesn't help being in a landlocked state, but sushi. It took me a long time to start to enjoy sushi.
Still can't use chopsticks.
Oh God, no.
That's the next step. Chopsticks.
That's why he didn't go to Japan with us.
That's right. He was gonna be too ashamed.
He was too scared.
I'm gonna go two back-to-back here. I'm gonna go espresso coffee. Even when I started drinking coffee, I didn't like espresso. It was too strong. I was too much of a bitch.
Still are.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go oysters with my third pick.
Oysters, okay.
I love oysters.
Dude, it's still one of those ones, like, there are some bad oysters and then there are some good oysters. And it's just a roll of the dice where you're at. So I usually don't order them because those bad ones are disgusting.
I do not order oysters unless it is a fancy establishment or I'm at a beach.
100%.
Yeah. It has to be like a well-known oyster bar that someone's recommended to me for me to. I'll go get oysters from an oyster bar.
Right.
I did it outside of Fenway in Boston. They were fantastic, but godly, they hit you. That check hits different.
Yeah.
Well, oyster money is the equivalent of fuck you money.
Yep.
All right, Nevada, let's get your third.
Yep. I'm gonna go with mushrooms.
Ooh. Love some good mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm still not necessarily big on eating them raw, but if they're on pizza, pasta, anything like that, no problem.
Talking about food mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
I have a problem with cooked. All right, I used to have a problem with cooked mushrooms, but not anymore.
So I'm going with malt, like malted beverages, malted liquor. I didn't always like them growing up, but now I'm like, they're not too bad. So I'm going with malt for mine, and then sharp cheese.
Like a good sharp cheddar.
Bro, I used to. They would get sharp cheddar in the house, so I would take a bite, and I was like, "Why are we buying this?" I would get all mad, like it was a waste of money, and now I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah, it's delicious.
Sharp cheese. But yeah, sometimes it's too sharp. I don't know. Maybe I haven't acquired it completely. Sometimes I'm like, this is too far. But yeah, sharp cheese. I may not still be on the sharp cheese train. All right, what you got, Nevada?
I will go with avocado.
I love me some avocado.
Well, yeah, who doesn't? But growing up, not really a big fan. Guacamole was came first before the actual avocado slices and all that, but avocado took a while to.
That is
really
true.
love.
Guacamole was the gateway drug to avocados.
100%.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest, Jermaine. As a kid, we ate so much guacamole. Like as kids, but I didn't know what an avocado looked like. The first time I saw an avocado, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Dude. Dude, it's so funny the cultural differences that people grow up with, right? Like when I see like fruit I've never seen before, I'm just like, what in the hell is that? I was like,
Yeah.
You want me to eat that?
Yeah.
Like dragon fruit. I remember the first time I saw dragon fruit, I was like, no, what is that?
But we used to do, Nevada's mom would make us guacamole with almost every meal that I ate over at his house. It's like a staple in the Putnam household. But I saw an avocado for the first time, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
No wonder you guys skimped on condiments in the Nevada household. All your money was going towards that guac budget.
Oh no, avocados back in the 90s, they were like
No,
25 cents an avocado.
And in Colorado, I'm surprised Greg Putnam didn't just go pick them himself.
Do they have a ton of avocado trees in Colorado?
Hell no. They come from Mexico.
That's why I was like, he just said I'm surprised he didn't pick them himself. So
he's been up and down. I will do. I'm gonna do gin.
Shout out Diego.
It literally, Jermaine just said it, but it literally took 13 months on a rock in the middle of the Indian Ocean, literally being dragged at least once a week to a party where gin was being stuffed down my throat to just appreciate gin.
It was impossible to know how many drinks you've had, and that is a dangerous night.
It is.
Because they would walk around, you'd have your drink in your hand, as a normal God-fearing citizen, sipping away, plugging away. Like, I'll get a refill when I have finished the complete beverage. No, dude. If you drank 20% of that beverage, you're getting topped off. If you drank 33%, you're getting topped off. If you
drank it below the rim, you were topped off.
If you somehow got to 85% completed, they were like, whoa, my, this big fella needs a refill. Like,
right.
Shoving gin down your throat is what they were doing.
Yeah.
And, I was here for it. I like gin.
Yeah. I will also go dark chocolate. I will go dark chocolate with my final pick.
Dark
As a kid, I could not stand dark chocolate. Now I'm like,
dark chocolate fucks.
It's good, dude.
And it's superfood.
Superfood.
Super.
For my final pick, sticking with food, I'm going to go with tomatoes.
Oh, I've always loved tomatoes.
I've always loved tomatoes as well, but along those same lines, like broccoli for me. Those little tiny trees that they try to force me to eat as a kid. I wouldn't even eat them if you covered them in cheese.
Always loved broccoli.
Yeah. Broccoli cheddar soup is the goat.
Oh,
now I'm like, yo, what was I thinking as a kid? Broccoli was fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I was thinking of going with grits here, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with stale plum.
Chocolate starfish. A couple of honorable mentions for me. Cigars.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
I actually have unacquired cigars. I tried to tell myself for a long time that I liked cigars, and now I'm like, I don't really like cigars.
I smoked I smoked my first Cuban on a rooftop in Afghanistan.
That's dope.
So that was like my first break it. So I went from like never having cigars to Cuban, and now people are like, you got to try this Cohiba. Or I'm just like, no, dude. There's a reason why people talk about these bad boys. Yeah. I can tell you what, bro.
Yeah. I will go like whiskey. Like not just your Jack Daniels, your Evan Williams, but actual like good whiskey.
Like scotch.
Yeah, scotch too. I can't do like peaty scotches or like
bourbon,
peaty whiskeys, bourbon. Yeah. And then my final honorable mention, sparkling water. As a kid, I was like, what is this trash?
Because it is trash.
I still agree. I agree, Nevada. It's also not good for you. And people are like, I'm drinking water. Shut up. No, it's not good for you. You're just trying to be fancy. It's not that good. In my opinion. Obviously, this is all opinion based. My honorable mentions, I have escargot and wasabi.
Escargot when done right. I've never had them done wrong, but I've only had them once. And it was at a cafe in Paris. So I can't go I can't go. It's like your Cuban story. I can't eat escargot from anywhere else.
Now you have to be in one of those restaurants where you're like, yeah, this place can do escargot for sure. But I tried it once, didn't like it, went somewhere, and then someone was like, I forgot what I was doing. I was at kind of like a gala type thing, and someone was walking around with the. They let the brown man in.
People are not your friends if you say I'm at a gala, and your friends don't go. I'm at a gala.
They're walking around with those silver plates, dude, and the white gloves on, and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" I was trying everything, and I tried the escargot, and I was like, "What is that?" And everyone's just like, "Oh, that's escargot," and I was like, "Really? It's pretty freaking delicious, dude. I get it."
Never had it.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Well,
what's a Rocky Mountain oyster?
Bull or sheep testicles that are deep fried.
Are they good?
They're not bad. They're not bad.
You can deep fry anything.
They're not. No, but they're not like. I mean, they're not bad. It's like as kids, we always used to be like, "Oh, you go get some Rocky Mountain oysters." And you try them as an adult, and you're like, "Well, fuck me if these aren't that bad."
It's one of those ones where you just got to have the person try it and be like, "I mean, it's not bad. What is that?" You're like, "Bull nuts, deep fried."
Maybe the problem is though that our childhood in Nevada built them up to be so like the ultimate. Like if you were eating bull testicle, that's the ultimate humiliation. So like as an adult, it's like hearing a movie sucks, and then you go watch the movie, you're like, I wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
I think I agree with that. I would try it, but I tell you what, I got a little bit of stank face on over here. Like you know what I don't like is like gizzards.
Oh, gizzards are so good, dude.
I remember my pop. Shout out my pops. He used to go to Grandy's. Have you ever heard of Grandy's? It's like,
is it a hole in the wall gas station that sells gizzards?
No. Oh. First of all, that my pops would be a dangerous fellow if he was buying gizzards from a hole in the wall gas station. No, it's like a home style type cooking, like Southern, right? So obviously that's why they have like gizzards there. I remember trying them and thinking like, why are you getting these? I was like, this is disgusting. Why? But I think I should probably try them again. I bet you I'd like them now.
I said hole in the wall gas station because if you go in there and there is an elderly woman, she can be black or white, and she gives you sass ordering gizzards, those are about to be the best gizzards of your life.
Bro, there's some soul food kitchens up in LA that I hit. That food is life-changing. And
so good.
And they give you so much and you drop like $20. I was like, dude, I've been to 5-star restaurants and spent like $200 and gotten like portions, like portion size of like $50. I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
It's like $50 American for this $50. Yeah, not good. All right, so I'll read back the list here. Nick had the first pick: spicy foods, espresso coffee, oysters, gin, dark chocolate. Nevada had the second pick. He went IPAs instead of just beer, sushi, mushrooms, avocado, and tomatoes. I think that was his childhood list there.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I went opera music, lengua and tripa or tripe. I went malt, sharp cheese, and stale plum.
Lengua is sheep's tongue? Yeah.
Tongue, yeah. And then tripe is stomach or intestine. Okay, so that wraps up PCP and head-to-head. Let's go ahead and get into our divisional breakdowns here. So, oh my goodness. This is huge. Huge. So far we've done AL and NL East and Central, and we'll be closing off with the West divisions. We alluded to at the opening of the show that the Padres and Dodgers have actually opened the 2024 season, which is pretty awesome because it means baseball's back. But like, it's not back, if that makes any sense.
It's not back yet. It's not officially back.
It's not back.
It's the soft opening of the MLB season.
Yeah, it's not in sync back. Right. No, Backstreet back.
It's back adjacent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's premature.
It's like Soulja Boy's Superman dance.
Premature evacuation. I think
Yes.
is what Nevada means.
Yeah,
So Nevada, you have this up, right?
I do.
To put in odds. Okay, sweet. All right, so Nick, go ahead and open it up. We'll start with the AL West here. Division finished. I do not have the division.
So the division finished last year. The Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers tied. The Astros got the tiebreaker based on head-to-head series. They both had 90 wins. Those are the only two teams from this division that made the playoffs. The Mariners came in third with 88 wins. They were 2 games back. The Angels finished with 73. And your worst team last year, the Oakland Athletics, they had 50 wins, went 50 and 112, and had the infamous or that inspired the infamous "sell the team" chant, where the Oakland A's in separate occasions did not attend a game and then fully packed the stadium to chant "sell the team."
What's the record for most losses in a season?
I believe it's the rich. Do you want live ball era?
Yeah, I want when we started letting the African American the brothers playing.
Okay, hold on.
Ooh,
You can give the one that you know.
The Richmond Spiders lost like 169 games. Oh, Cleveland Spiders.
Yeah.
They went 20 and
I was gonna say 22. Okay.
They went.
It'd be like 120.
20 and 134.
Oh.
1899 Cleveland Spiders.
Bro. And then so live ball started what, 1950?
No. Live ball is like I think it's like the early 1900s. But the worst MLB record in a 162 game season was the 2003 Detroit Tigers. They went 43 and 119.
Holy cow. They had more losses than the most wins a team has ever had in baseball.
Yep. That is correct.
1920 to 1941 is the live ball era. So what is
to 1941?
What's the current era then? Just the
StatCast.
That's what they call it, the StatCast era?
I think so, yeah.
You were pretty confident, so I'll give you that one.
I just know StatCast started in like 2014.
StatCast started maybe I'm confusing it with GameCast.
Yeah, you are confusing it with GameCast.
Oh, okay. And so is StatCast the reason why we have moon balls?
Yeah, yes, the moon balls. Yeah, the moon blasts from StatCast.
All right, let's break down the Houston Astros, Nick.
So Houston Astros this year not really active in free agency a lot. They did sign Josh Hader, and they have Jose Altuve and Jose Urquidy returning from injury. Last year, we said they won 90 games. They tied with the Texas Rangers, who went on to win the World Series. They were actually unlucky, 3 wins towards unlucky. The Josh Hader kind of pushed them over the gap. I expect this year that they're probably going to win 96 games. They, however, will not win the division. So I will take over for Houston. I will take them, yes, to make the playoffs, but I will not take them to win the division.
So you have them finishing second?
Second in the division, correct.
Roger Dodger. Nevada, thoughts on the Houston Astros?
Yeah, not much change last year for me. More of the same. Obviously, they're a really good core. They have good starting pitching. Adding Josh Hader will help the bullpen, which was a bit of a weak point for him last year. Let's see. I also have them over and obviously making the playoffs. And I got to go with the division. Until they can prove otherwise that they can't win the division, they're going to be the division winner for me.
All right, so you got them first, yes to make the playoffs, over. I've got them yes to make the playoffs. Obviously, that's It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not fading the Houston Astros to miss the playoffs. That 92.5 line feels
Low.
feels pretty good, dude. Feels pretty good. I'm gonna go over, but if they don't go over, I would not be surprised, personally. And I will. Man, Texas kind of got worse though. Seattle's interesting. Give me Houston win the division. Yeah, I'll take Houston.
I think I would disagree with you. I think Texas got even better this offseason. They signed Andrew Kisner, David Robertson. They re-signed Travis Jankowski and got Kirby Yates from the Atlanta Braves in a trade. Also, Tyler Mahle is going to come back from the arm injury he suffered last year around the All-Star break. He'll return around the All-Star break. I mean, Texas last year, they won 90 wins. They were actually more unlucky than Houston was. Actually, the third unluckiest or fourth unluckiest, top five unlucky in baseball last year. I think they did great in the offseason. I'm going to take Texas over 89.5. I'm going to take Texas to win the division. I believe it's plus, what is it, Nevada? Plus 200, I think.
230.
Plus 230 to win the division. I love that. And obviously, yes, to make the playoffs.
So, who do they have? Who do they have as their pitching staff right now in Texas?
Texas Rangers fan.
Yeah, I accidentally closed my roster tab.
So while Nick looks that up, I'll just kind of jump in here. Obviously, they have quite a few returning players. Nick will obviously touch on the starting pitchers, but I think that what would put them over the top is depending on what happens with Jordan Montgomery. Last I heard, he is still unsigned. If they're able to get him back, then I would like to take them over and maybe go for the division. They also have Jack, is it Leader or Leiter, who's kind of their potential potential ace in the waiting in the minors. He'll probably get called up this year. Some weak points, they didn't really address the bullpen as much as they needed to. But they could obviously change that here at the trade deadline and then obviously make another push for the playoffs. So for me, I have Texas. I'll go over. I'm not thrilled about it, but I'll go over. And I got to double check how many teams I have left to choose because I think I need 2 or 3 from this division. So I'll hold off on where they're finishing.
So Texas's projected starting rotation this year: Nathan Eovaldi, John Gray, Andrew Haney, Dale Dunnan, and Cody Bradford.
Yeah, and this isn't inspiring.
All of those are top 100 pitchers. Top 100 starting pitchers. And they have Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer waiting in the wings if they do get healthy this year.
Yeah, deGrom timetable. Do we have a timetable? Because Scherzer's supposed to be missing, right?
With his herniated disc, yeah.
He's missing the start at least.
Yeah, he is missing the start.
I like the Texas team. I'm taking the over for sure, but I don't like the loss of Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, so Corey Seager is out, Josh June is out, Nathaniel Lowe is out. They're all questionable for opening day. Jacob deGrom is questionable for 2024. Could expect him back in the playoffs, and Scherzer is going to be out till at least June.
Dang, deGrom is questionable for the year?
Yeah, for the year. And I was remiss of my Tyler Mahle news. He is also questionable for the year.
Yeah, that was okay. That's why the pitching staff feels like a weakness to me. And listening to you, I was just like, dude, what did I track for Texas in the offseason? But I still think they have a good team. I still, Corey Seager, Simeon, Jung, Nathaniel Lowe, you probably takes another step forward. They had rookies contributing last year, so if those rookies continue to develop, I feel like I'd be pretty confident for this team to hit the over. I don't think they're going to catch Houston. So let me ask you this: Houston Astros, 7 straight division titles, right? 7 ALCS appearances, and 3. So they went to 3 World Series, lost 1, right?
I believe so. How many does Springer have?
They're a dynasty that no one talks about, then, right?
4 World Series if you count 2017.
Is that the trash can year?
No, the trash can year was 2019.
Oh, 2017 is when they were.
2017 was like the young Astros who surprised everybody. And they've won 2 of those, 17 and 22.
Okay. It's a dynasty then, right?
It yes. Yeah. I won't beat around the bush yet.
It just feels like the quietest dynasty I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. And I'm not sure why, especially in baseball. It's so hard to repeat in baseball or even to be consistently good. But, is it the trash cans? Is that why?
Yeah.
All right. That makes a lot of sense. Let's get into Seattle then.
Yeah. So the Seattle Mariners, last year, 79 wins. Last year did they not have 79 wins? They had 88 wins last year. Oh, that's a bummer. 88. Oh, man, that's going to change some stuff. So 88 wins last year. They were a little bit lucky. They were 3 wins over the luck. Not a real great offseason. They did kind of make some signings near the end, but they had a massive trade-a-palooza at the beginning of the offseason for a team that was in their prime compete years. I didn't really get it. And Eugenio Suarez is gone. Jared Klinick is gone. Justin Tapa is gone. Robbie Ray is gone to the Giants. Jose Caballero is gone to the Rays. I mean, these are primetime performers for Seattle that they lost. They did add Gregory Santos in a trade with the White Sox. Luke Riley came over in that Jose Caballero trade. They did sign Jorge Polanco, Luis Arias, Marco Gonzalez, Mitch Garver. Marco Gonzalez is returning from injury. I think the problem with this Mariners team is their lineup, right? J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, maybe their catcher, Cal Raleigh. They're really the only at their position or as players in general are the only top 100. Their pitching staff is pretty good. Their top 3 are pretty good. Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Bryce Miller had some great games last year. And then their bullpen kind of gets into more of the same. So if the starting pitchers can carry Seattle, I'll be impressed. But the line right now set at 87.5. I have them winning 84, so I'll take under. And I will take them no to make the playoffs.
Nevada?
I'm a little bit higher on the Mariners than Nick is. Obviously, they got Julio Rodriguez, who's the star up there in Seattle. There's a lot of no-namers, more or less, on the team outside of Julio Rodriguez. Robbie Ray might return at some point. Obviously, he's coming off Tommy John, but if Nick can go yard off Robbie Ray, then anybody can.
I did not go yard off Robbie Ray.
The starting pitchers, they're not.
Dude, you know Robbie Ray's gone, right? Robbie Ray's in San Francisco with the Giants. They traded him this offseason.
Remember they were one of those teams trying to get Shohei, so they unloaded anyone who had a big contract.
Maybe I blacked it out because it's the Dodgers or the Giants.
Yeah, you probably did.
All right. Well, anyway,
we'll get into it with the Giants.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Nick took Robbie Ray deep once, and that's what I'll say.
I never took Robbie Ray. I had 8 at bats against Robbie Ray. I found 1 pitch off. I faced 25 pitches against Robbie Ray and 8 at bats. You guys can do the math.
Nick Whityard, he's just being humble.
Yeah, he's being
Don't-
humble.
Don't listen to him.
I have never hit an out of the park home run in my life. I think I'd shit my pants if I did one.
Shout out.
I think the Mariners are a solid team through and through. Again, the only thing that really pops out for him is Julio Rodriguez, and rightfully so. But I will, after looking at who I have for the playoffs and all that, I'm going to pick them over the Rangers to finish second. So I'll go over on their win total. Yes, to make playoffs.
Whoa. So you needed 3 teams to make the playoffs, Nevada?
2.
Oh, so Texas is not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Got it.
World Series hangover. Yeah, miscounted on the playoffs. So we all need 2 from this division. Or if you're feeling frisky, 1 and then go change another division.
Got it. No, Seattle, I was not happy with what Seattle did this offseason because I pseudo root for Seattle. They have great uniforms, great colors. They're always a fun team to root for because they're always the underdogs. They had Ichiro, they had Griffey, right? It was always an easy team to root for. And man, what an upsetting offseason. I'm taking the under. I'm expecting this team to be competitive. I'm expecting them to flirt with 500 because that's what Seattle does. I don't expect them to be pushing for one of these spots, especially not with Houston and Texas in that newborn rivalry last year. Texas and Houston faced each other in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I expect those 2 to be battling for this, and I expect both those Texas teams to make the playoffs. And, if Texas can get even slightly healthy, then they should definitely be able to hold off Seattle. So I'll take a first, second, third finish of Houston, Texas, Seattle, and Seattle to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I just wonder why for Seattle, why? Right? I get the compete for Shohei, but you had such a good roster. And just to blow it up in the start of free agency, it doesn't make sense to me.
It's classic Seattle though. Yeah. Anytime they get anywhere near relevant, but they have to pay people, they would rather lose games than spend money.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably not wrong there. All right. So let's move into the 4th place team. My perennial darlings, but not this year, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So the Angels last year, 73 wins. They weren't lucky. They weren't unlucky. They've had a terrible offseason so far. Losing Shohei should say that right off the bat. Even with losing Shohei, or even with signing Adam Simber, Matt Moore, and Robert Stevenson, the loss of Shohei, I mean, I don't think we really need to say anything else. That was the fact that Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani never played any postseason games together is very, very upsetting.
It's on brand for the Angels. Even you tried willing them into the playoffs every year.
Here's the crazy thing about I'm the Angels. I'll just tell you right off the bat. I have our model has the Angels winning 69 games this year. Nice. So I will take them under 72.5. But here's the crazy thing: looking at their projected starting lineup, opening day lineup, they have 6 players of the 9 spots who have been drafted in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, in baseball, I don't really think that. Do all first round? Sorry, what's the hit rate of first round picks then?
Oh, dude, probably
not that good, right? Okay. Man, the Angels. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's the Angels. Always under. They will trade somebody and get worse. Mike Trout, unfortunately, will miss 25, 30 games probably.
Yeah.
As Mike Trout seems to do now.
I will say adding Adam Simber is great to a bullpen. That includes Carlos Estevez, a guy the Rockies gave up, a guy the Angels signed from Colorado in the 2022 offseason because the Rockies didn't want him anymore. And I will say Patrick Sandoval, Griffin Canning, and Reed Detmers are good young players. I just refuse to bet on the Angels again. Nevada, your thoughts?
They're in a bad spot. Kind of like you mentioned, they couldn't do it with Trout and Shohei. I don't have Shohei's WAR off the top of my head or what they ended up giving up when they let him walk.
Stand by.
Shohei
was worth 10 wins.
There you go.
Holy shit.
So not only do you lose your ace pitcher, you lose probably your best hitter as well. And like you said, Jermaine, Trout's going to miss, count it 20, 30 games, whatever it is, if he's not traded before the trade deadline.
Ooh. Are you calling it, Nevada?
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that way because at this point he's got to feel like a beaten puppy, right? Like he was the darling in LA, can't do anything to get to playoffs and win. He's had one playoff appearance. Is that right, Nick?
He's played 3 playoff games.
Okay.
3 playoff games. Yeah.
Showed up, got swept. And then Shohei comes over. Still can't do jack shit. At some point, Trout's got to be thinking like, man, fuck this. I've tried. I've done everything I can. I'm not going to go down with this garbage. So I don't want to lock it in, but if I would put money on Trout getting traded, but you've seen my head-to-head bets, so take that for what it's worth. But yeah, I have them under 72.5 as well.
I don't think they trade him.
Okay.
The only way they trade him is if he asks out. And it's starting to sound like he might ask out based off that Mookie Betts podcast. You remember that podcast where they were talking about him versus Shohei in the World Baseball Classic and how the crowd was electric and this, that, and the other. And he turns to Mookie and goes, "Is this what playoff baseball feels like?"
Exactly.
That hurt.
That's heartbreaking.
That hurt my soul because I mean, one of the pillars of the foundation of this podcast was our love for Ryan Fitzpatrick,
the Harvard Cannon,
our love to fade Rutgers and trash them at all times.
Fuck Greg Schiano.
Fuck the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
And Mike Trout.
Suck my nuts, Kirk Cousins.
And Mike Trout is the best baseball player.
The Metville Meteor. He's better than your grandpa's favorite player. He's better than your dad's favorite player.
For sure. Those are pillars of this podcast. But it's getting real hard to cheer for Mike Trout. I hope he gets out. My only concern, though, is he ends up a Dodger.
No, don't you. No, you take that back. You put it back in that dirty, filthy fucking mouth.
So I got under for the Angels, no, to make the playoffs. I have them finishing 4th. Look, can we just go chalk with this Oakland Athletics one? They're a dog shit team. They don't know where they're playing. Their owners won't sell them. Vegas doesn't want them. They've literally told them to go back to Oakland. So are we going under 56.5 or are we going over?
I'm going under 56.5, but by a half win. That 56.5 got me.
Sorry, Nevada. I put you down for under as well. Are you taking the over?
I am not.
Yeah. First of all, I don't want to see this Oakland team be successful. If I rooted for a franchise to fold and just cease to exist, it would be the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah. They have some serviceable starting pitching this year. That's the best thing that I can say about their lineup. It sucks, but that's the best thing that I'm going to say.
Yeah, we'll go chalk. So we ended up with I ended up with the first, second, third of Houston, Texas, Seattle, which is plus 300. And no one else had that same one. Nick had Texas, Houston, Seattle plus 425. Nevada had Houston, Seattle, Texas plus 350. For division finishing positions, I took chalk. I went Houston, Texas, Seattle Angels, Athletics. I don't expect anything to change for this, to be honest. Nick took Texas first. Yeah, we already went through the trifectas. We all have the Angels and Athletics finishing 4th and 5th. You guys have anything else for this division?
I want to pick the Angels again, but I'm not going to. And it's going to be it's a 2-horse race. Let's hope like I said that Texas wins it.
All right. So that wraps up our coverage of this division. It's a chalk division to me. So let's just go ahead and get into the NL West, which is the real meat and potatoes of this episode.
Oh, Jesus.
Nick, take it away. Talk about your favorite team here.
So the NL West last year finished the Dodgers winning 100 games. They won the division over the Diamondbacks by 16 games. Diamondbacks had 84 wins. Those are the only 2 teams to make the playoffs. The ever disappointing Padres had 82 wins. The Giants had 79 wins. And the Cactus League runner-up, Colorado Rockies.
Well, it's not over yet.
Well, it's true. They could be the Cactus League winner. The Colorado Rockies, for the first time in their history, had over 100 losses, finishing with 103 losses and 59 wins. So we'll start with the Dodgers right now. Their over-under set at 103.5. And then to the win total last year, the Dodgers were not lucky or unlucky. However, in free agency, here's the crazy thing about free agency. You want to talk about an arms race in the NL West. Between the Dodgers and the Giants, by my calculations and my model's calculations, they have added 44 wins between the 2 of them this offseason.
That's about what the Oakland Athletics are going to win this year.
That they might have added the Oakland Athletics. I mean, like you go down this list and it's insane for the Dodgers. Tyler Glasnow from the Rays, they got in a trade. They re-signed Clayton Kershaw. Gavin Lux is returning from injury. They re-signed Jason Hayward, signed James Paxton, signed Ryan Brescier, signed Teoscar Hernandez. Walker Buehler's returning from injury. Signed Yoshinobu Yamamata. They also signed Shohei Ohtani.
Did they add Kike last year or this year?
They added Kike, right? But I mean, I don't know what to tell people. I am so flabbergasted by this lineup, right? The only player, if you use fan graphs and their overall power rank, the only player that is below a power rank of 100 is Jason Hayward in their projected starting lineup. Right? Their projected starting lineup is Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, James Outman, Jason Hayward, and Gavin Lux.
They have Gavin Lux in the 9-hole.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that didn't include either of the Hernandezes.
No, it didn't.
How did
because their bench is Austin Burns, Miguel Rojas, Chris Taylor, and Enrique Hernandez.
Chris Taylor's still there?
Yeah.
Captain Do It All?
Yeah.
I fucking hate this
His
team.
position is listed as infield/outfield.
Bro, they really do just, hey, Chris Taylor, we need you to go play. He's like, where, coach?
Where am I playing today?
You pick.
Yeah. What's the line set at 103.5? I know I don't want to trust this model, right? Because I know this number that's staring at me can't be right. But the number that's being generated when you punch all this in is 127 wins.
127?
The record for wins in an MLB season is 116.
Yeah, that's why
I'm gonna put a little bit of pizza money on the Dodgers to break this record and be eliminated in the first round.
Hell yeah,
dude! If you could parlay that, what would the odds of that be?
I don't know. Crazy.
So you have the over then.
The over. They're winning the division. They're making the playoffs. What do you want from me? Like, they're breaking the record for most wins in a regular season. 24 wins they added this offseason.
Look,
I want to do something real quick. Hold
I
on.
wanted to come into today's episode while Nick's looking that up, and be like combative and say San Francisco is going to win this division. I just can't do it. I'm going chalk. It's over. Yes, to make the playoffs at first. They're winning the division.
If you take the wins above replacement added by teams in the offseason, there were 57 wins added this year by all teams across baseball. Right? Through trades, through whatever. The Dodgers
How many?
57 wins across all 30 teams. The Dodgers have
added.
41% of that.
Nay, dude.
Nevada, what are your thoughts on the LA dickheads?
Fuck them. Yeah, you've already talked about it. Sorry if I missed over or skipped over it, but they also have James Paxton, who's kind of in the twilight of his career, but still on that staff. Kershaw came back because he's an asshole. Walker Buehler's going to return at some point. Glass now because he hates children. We just need Dave Roberts to be Dave Roberts and
Let's go. I fucking hate Dave Roberts.
Just choke on the biggest dick in the playoffs. The one thing that there is some good, exciting news for us is that there is drama with Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if you guys saw the news today, but he fired his interpreter.
Oh, I saw that.
Because of a $4.5 million loss, which he's not making very much, to a offshore bookmaking operation.
To
cover his gambling debts.
Yeah, whether it's the interpreter just taking the fall for Shohei or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, long story short,
wouldn't that be a story?
Oh yeah,
Shohei suspended for gambling.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan.
All for it. Just give him the Pete Rose treatment. Fuck him. I cannot stand what they did in the off season. We touched on that a couple months ago. But all I can say is fuck him. I hate him. I've never liked him. I never will. I would be more than happy if the San Andreas Fault cracked and the Dodger Stadium floated off into the Pacific Ocean.
So you got them over their win total, though.
God damn it, I do.
You have them winning the division?
Yeah.
You have them making the playoffs?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco last year won 79 games. So you're asking yourself, Nick, if you win 79 games and you're a little unlucky, there are 3 games unlucky. Why are they projected here? They're not. We're going to Arizona next. Oh, I didn't read the win-loss projections. I'm going to start with San Francisco. A little bit unlucky last year. However, San Francisco just also crushed the free agent market this last offseason. Added Jorge Soler, Junho Lee from the Korean Baseball League, Matt Chapman, Tom Murphy, and Blake Snell. Just recent news, like Jermaine said. They did acquire Robbie Ray in a trade. It is unknown right now. He's listed as questionable for the 2024 season. So we don't know if we're going to get him back, or the Giants don't know if they're going to get him back. But I mean, this team is really, really good. Logan Webb, Blake Snell, Jordan Hicks is also on this team. Kyle Harrison, the number 1 prospect last year. Camila Duvall is an amazing starting pitcher. The Rogers brothers, Taylor Roger and Tyler Rogers. This Giants team is good. I have them over 83.5. I have them finishing second, and I have them making the playoffs. And that should be. I don't know why everybody is not higher on this Giants team.
That was going to be my thought as well. Nevada, you have any thoughts on San Francisco?
Not too much more than what Nick already said. I think one item that needs to bounce back is Alex Cobb. He didn't have the greatest year last year, so if he has a bounce back year, that could be a big benefit for them. It'll be interesting to see how the new manager Bob Melvin will utilize his pieces in the bullpen. Bob Melvin was with the D bags for a while, so but like Nick said, they missed out on a lot of free agent pieces. Shohei, God, who was the other one they were going after?
They tried to get Yamamoto.
Yeah, Yamamoto.
They
So
tried to get Imanga.
Yeah, they basically tried to do what the Dodgers beat them to the punch at, but they shot for the moon and came up just short and ended up with a very good haul regardless. Looking at my notes, I don't know who finishes second in this division. Sans the Rockies, but I got them over on their win total. Oh, look at that. Makes sense because win totals are all 83.5. I don't know about playoffs yet. I got to think about those three teams.
Yeah, the real battle in this division is for second place. Arizona, San Francisco, San Diego, all very good teams. San Diego's had some prospects absolutely playing really good baseball in spring training, so it'll be interesting to see that. But I loved what San Francisco did this offseason, and San Francisco has a good year, an off year, and then a good year, and we're in store for a good year. I think 83.5 has a ton of value on it. I would be shocked if they don't finish somewhere 88 or above. So I'm going with San Francisco over. I have them to make the playoffs, and I'm going second with Nick. I just think what they did this offseason, that rotation is one of the best in baseballs. Is one of the best in baseballs. And I would really love for San Diego and Arizona to get their shit together and knock these teams off, but it just seems like it's never going to happen.
Well, speaking of San Diego, the Padres' perennial disappointments. Last year,
hold on. We skip in second place Arizona. They also made the NLCS, so we should probably go to Arizona.
Okay, well let's go to Arizona then. So Arizona, like Jermaine said, made the playoffs last year. 84 wins, a little bit more lucky, 4 wins on the lucky side. They also had themselves a pretty good offseason, acquiring Eugenio Suarez from the Mariners. Eduardo Rodriguez, they got in free agency. They re-signed Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And Randall Grichuk from the Rockies. They have a great young lineup, and it's the reason that they got to the playoffs. Jock Peterson, they signed from the Giants, and their starting lineup: Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Gurriel, Christian Walker, Jock Peterson. That's their top 5. Jace Peterson and Tucker Barnhart are coming off the bench. My concern is that behind Zach Gallion and Merrill Kelly, what Eduardo Rodriguez are we getting? And past that, their closer is Paul Seward, and he's very good, but I don't know that the bullpen of Arizona can hold up like they did last year. I think it was an outlier. I have them right now at 80, Arizona 83.5. Basically in this division, given that Arizona is want to spend and they're going to be in the hunt for this, I can see Arizona as a destination that Trevor Bauer would be attracted to. Get to play against the Dodgers, get to play on a really good team in the back half of rotation. Why Bauer isn't signed, I have no idea. I'm going to go over 83.5. I'm going to have them finishing third. And if not for the Milwaukee Brewers, if the Milwaukee Brewers falter, the Diamondbacks are making the playoffs, but as of right now, I'm going to say no. Diamondbacks do not make the playoffs. Jermaine, over to you. As we get a listen to the dog drinking water.
The delayed mute was wild. I was like, "Wow, those quick reflexes are out of control over there, big fella."
I switch windows.
Oh, bro, I was like, "Is he really just all right?" Bet bold strategy. I think Arizona overachieved last year, and I don't think I'm the only person who thinks that.
Yeah,
I think in a division that maybe San Diego is the only one that got worse. But that could be relative as well. I think San Diego is still a pretty good ball club. I think Arizona 83.5 is an expert line. I'm gonna forecast some regression. I'll go under for Arizona. Under, unless they make a free agent signing like the, I think we've said it for every future series so far, is why Trevor Bauer isn't signed, and I think we've all picked different teams that we think could really, really use him. Shout out the Orioles. I hope you get your head out of your ass. I'm gonna go no to make the playoffs. Also, I just really don't like Corbin Carroll's face. Not that that's relevant to anything, but I just had to share. I don't know what it is. Every time they show him on camera, I'm like, this fucking guy again. I'm going with 4th for Arizona. I think they'll get better as the year goes on. In the offseason, they'll get better again, and Arizona will be a team to contend in 2025. But I'm expecting some regression here, so I'll pick them 4th. And Nevada, your thoughts on Arizona?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Jermaine. The D-bags will have a regression. I think they'll still be somewhat in contention. Like Nick alluded to, the Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen, your 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation, and getting Eduardo Rodriguez. Like Nick said, it depends on which version of Eduardo you get. And then he took my other point right out from me. The end of the bullpen has the potential to be lights out and one of the best in the league. Part of the issue or their weak point when it comes to pitching is going to be that middle bullpen to get them to their closer and setup. So I will go. I will go under. No to make the playoffs. And I'll have them 4th in the division.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the perennial disappointment now. San Diego Padres.
They can't be perennial disappointments anymore. There's no expectation, sir.
I guess so. The San Diego Padres won 82 games. They were the most unlucky team in baseball. They should have won 92 games if you're going by the luck equation. However, their offseason has been awful. Getting rid of
Soto.
Juan Soto, thank you. Sorry. Blake Snell left to the Giants. He couldn't even do the right thing and leave the division. Also, Grisham joined that Juan Soto trade. Nick Martinez got traded to Cincinnati. San Diego did get Michael King and Randy Velasquez from that trade. They signed Jurickson Profar, Wandy Peralta, and Yuki Matsui. They also got Dylan Cease and Gregory Santos. They got Dylan Cease from the Chicago White Sox just recently. My concern is that they had one of the best starting pitching rotations in terms of ERA last year. Are they going to have it again? Right? Yu Darvish is probably their best pitcher right now. Joe Musgrove is there. Jim Musgrove, thank you. Dylan Cease is there. Michael King is there. Who's? I mean, who's going to be your number 2? Who's going to be your number 1 in this Padres rotation? And can Xander Bogaerts hit? Is Fernando Tatis done? Is Manny Machado done? Is Hong Sung Kim done? These are all the questions I'm asking of San Francisco or of San Diego, and I think the answer to all that is yes. I think they would win more games. I think they would go over this total if they didn't play in a division with the Dodgers and the Giants. For that reason, I'm taking the Padres under and no to make the playoffs.
What did Tatis do last year to show that he's done?
He hasn't returned to his form since his injury.
I mean, I think he's still a pretty good ball player. Personally, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased.
25 home runs, 78 RBIs, and he hit 257.
Yeah, that's the new baseball. 257 is it's what I bitch about all the time when I watch baseball. It's like, why is everything supposed to be a moon ball? And I think analytics is taking that too far, but I still think this team has a ton of talent. I think asking who the number 2 is between, Musgrove, Cease, and King that's also a good problem to have. Like, that's 4 awesome pitchers, in my opinion. Well, maybe awesome's a bit generous. 4 good pitchers, right? 4 pitchers that any team would love to have right now. And should the Padres falter, I could see some of them moving. But, yeah, I think I'm going under as well for the Padres. But I think they'll finish above the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I'm taking the Padres finish 3rd. Because obviously we can't pick Colorado to do anything.
Oh.
Sometimes I really wish Colorado would be good just for you guys. Like, if they ever get good, I will be rooting for you guys with you guys. But
they're never going to be good.
It's tough. It's tough to try to evaluate that team on any given year.
It's
and
tough
I know
to watch that team on any given year.
Yeah, lucky for you guys, you didn't have to watch them last year. You guys finally got smart with your time. Yeah, the Padres, what they'll need is some of their prospects to take a leap for them to make any noise for the second place. And I just don't see it happening. I think maybe 1-2 years away, depending on how they position themselves in free agency. But I'll take the under as well. I just think they're going to finish better than the Diamondbacks.
I think the crux for the Padres is going to be the health of their starting pitching. Like Jermaine said, their starting pitching's not bad. But again, it's going to be health is going to be the key, considering that there are such an aging starting rotation. Depending on where they're at towards the trade deadline, we'll see if they actually try to shore up their starting pitching depth. But they also need to add some bullpen arms. But position players and the lineup is pretty solid. It's not bad by any means, but I'll have them under as well, battling with Arizona for 3rd.
Do we get to talk about them now?
Go ahead, Cactus League champs.
Cactus League champs. Colorado Rockies won 59 games last year. They were 1 game unlucky. I think their offseason has not been great. Re-signing Charlie Blackmon, a guy who's going to turn 38 this year, to a $13 million contract is not that great. Other than that, the free agents, they signed Cal Quintrell, and Brendan Rodgers is returning from an injury.
Stop me if you've heard that before.
Is that the end of the free agents?
That's the end.
So we covered all acquisitions already.
We've covered all acquisitions. Yeah.
Shit, I might have to go under, dude.
Their lineup is their lineup. They tried to move Chris Bryant to first base to continue to get it or to help him stay healthy. Charlie Blackmon is still leading off at 38 years old. That should tell you how the franchise is doing. Nolan Jones is going to try to. Nolan Jones is continuing his development in the outfield. Brenton Doyle has one of the best arms in the game. If he can figure out how to hit, he'll get out of that 9 spot in the lineup. Elias Diaz was an all-star last year. I wouldn't be surprised to see him move at the deadline.
Anything positive there, sir?
Not really. I mean, Justin Lawrence is a good pitcher. We'll see if him or Tyler Kinley become the starting pitcher. But I don't have a lot of faith in this Rockies team. That being said, I think we're going to return to our old ways. I think 60.5 puts us above 100 losses. That's not how the Rockies operate. And I'm going to take the Colorado Rockies over.
Colorado Rockies over. Okay.
Not that much over, but they're going over.
Are they making the playoffs?
The Rockies are a 110 loss team masquerading as a 94 loss team.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Man.
Jesus, neither of you have anything, huh?
I'd say the one positive, which is a potential, which is what Rockies fans live off of, is hope and potential, is that they do have a lot of young guys in the system, but you're asking AA guys, maybe a AAA guy, to step up into the majors and carry this team to some sort of mediocrity. Basically, the Rockies are a team of washed up vets and uninspiring prospects. Chris Bryant is a pain in the ass. I think we talked about it a month ago or so or maybe it was just me and Nick bitching to ourselves, how he basically made a comment that spring training was coming up and he basically panicked. Last call came on, the lights turned on, and he was like, and signed with the Rockies. Brendan Rodgers has been a massive disappointment, being number 2 or number 3 overall draft pick. He cannot stay off the injured list.
3.
Ezekiel Tovar, he was a rookie last year, and he did pretty good. His defense is what kind of gets him up there. So can he continue to take a step up? Nick already said Nolan Jones and Brenton Doyle. Brenton Doyle's got a cannon of an arm, but that cannon is empty.
He throws almost as hard as as high as he hits.
Yeah. Nolan Jones is probably the best all-around guy we have for the most part, and he could be a valuable trade chip, but we've seen how much we love to not trade talent and actually stock the shelves. The starting pitching is a mess. It's always a mess. It continues to be a mess. Our potential ace is coming back from Tommy John surgery, so who knows when and if he comes back. And then I would say, the bullpen is also a mess, but that doesn't matter because the starting pitching is not going to be able to keep the opponents at bay in order to get to the pitch or the bullpen to get to the closer to win games.
Oh, and our the one bright spot in our bullpen has bad mental health, even though he throws 98 miles per hour.
Yes, he was out for basically the first month of the season. Pretty much literally the day before opening day, and he's like, I can't do this.
Who's that?
Daniel Bard.
Okay.
Yeah, resurrected his career, and then the year after got the shits. And I mean, he did come back, but he needs a lot of mental health help just to be able to pitch. That being said, I will be going to opening day, whether it's at the actual game or downtown, as long as it's not snowing. I'm excited, and I don't know why I'm excited. It's a flaw, and Nick is correct. They do not lose 100 games, even though, like I said, they're a 110 loss team masquerading as a 94 loss team. So for that reason, I will go over. No to make the playoffs, no to win the division. I did put $1 on him to win the World Series, though, like I do every year.
He could just give me $1 every year.
All right, so Jermaine, you're sitting here and you're saying we don't have hope. We're too close to the problem. You tell us why we should have hope for the Colorado Rockies in the 2024 season.
Dog.
That's all our time, folks.
The team is bad. Who's the ace coming? Is Kyle Freeland the one who tore his UCL? It was
Marquez.
Marquez.
Okay.
He's probably not going to be back. Senzatella's not going to be back for 2024.
Wow.
Because if they were to come back, it'd be around playoff time. We're not making the playoffs.
All right.
So yeah, it's Kyle Freeland. It's 6 ERA Kyle Freeland himself.
I'm gonna put over just in solidarity with my brothers, but this is you guys. Can I interest you in on this episode live to the 10s and 10s to pick a new team?
So one of my really good buddies, Mac, is a Chicago White Sox fan. And we said that maybe the Baltimore Orioles, a team that is known suffering, but is now good because they make good roster moves and decisions.
A brother in suffering that has escaped.
Yeah, and they're close enough that I can go watch games. But truthfully, I would probably just stop watching baseball or just watch baseball generally.
That's you stopped last year. You legitimately stopped last year, and I was like, that's a dark place.
Yeah.
I have hope because at some point Montfort does have to die.
But it might be before it might not be before I die.
He's gonna raise your blood pressure so high before then that you're gonna die before him.
As long as he isn't the Jerry Jones of baseball, then I think we'll be okay. But
or it may kill me. Like when he saw him, I'd be like, ah.
It's gonna stop your heart when you get the update.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't leave him. I got too much emotional attachment to him.
Too many kids with him. Too many metaphorical kids with this team that we can't leave him.
I like the bright spots. We've talked about it on here. You know, the 07 World Series run and all that. I mean, you could flash that up. You could talk about it, and you suck me right back in. It doesn't matter how shitty the Rockies are, how shitty the game is that you're sitting at, and you're like, remember when Holiday touched the plate? And you're like, well, I mean, yeah, he kind of did, but we went to the playoffs, and you're just sucked back into that moment. And I don't know. I guess I need mental help to break away from this relationship.
First of all, he touched the plate.
100%.
Man, it's back. Almost made it through a whole podcast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're 100% finished with today's episode. You guys got anything else?
Go Rockies.
Cactus League contenders to win the league.
Cactus League champs.
Yep.
They're not even asking for much, Montfort. Just get them 82 wins.
I don't even need 82. I just need less than 100 losses.
70 and 92. That's what it's going to be.
70 and 92.
I say 66 and 96.
There you go. That's the sweet spot. 30 years of sweet spot right there.
I know my team.
Oh man, you guys can root for the Cubs with me then, boys.
Well, yeah, we'll support you.
I'm picking a team come playoff time. If the Cubs are there, I'm picking them.
Oh, let's go, Cubbies. You heard it here. All right. Thank you for listening to us bloviate. What a fun word. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, at Podcast Room303. Follow our sister pod, Revenge of the Pod, on all things social. and anywhere you listen to podcasts. For myself, Jermaine, for my co-host Nick, for our executive producer Nevada, we'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.